Today I am going to tell you about a great freedom fighter, Alluri Sitaraman Raju, the unsung hero of the Rampa Rebellion. Alluri Sitaraman Raju was born on 4 July 1897 in Pandrangi village near Bhimunipatnam, in present-day Andhra Pradesh. His family was of modest means but fairly respected in the community. He lost his father at a young age, which led him to spend much of his early life moving between relatives' homes. From childhood, he displayed an unusual personality, quiet, thoughtful, and deeply spiritual. He was fascinated by epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata, and people noticed in him both the discipline of a saint and the courage of a warrior. He never pursued a conventional career. Instead, he traveled extensively in the tribal areas of the Eastern Ghats, where he witnessed firsthand the hardships of the hill tribes. By the early 20th century, British colonial rule had disrupted the natural way of life in the hill tracts of Andhra. The British government declared large tracts of forest as reserved, banning shifting cultivation, podu, restricting access to forest produce, and thereby destroying the livelihood of tribal communities. Tribal people were forced into labor, cheated by moneylenders, and harassed by police and revenue officers. Traditional tribal chiefs lost authority, while outsiders gained power. This widespread exploitation created fertile ground for rebellion. During his travels, Sitaraman Raju came into close contact with tribal communities, especially the Koya and other hill tribes. He not only understood their suffering, but also won their trust by living among them, dressing like them and sharing their food and hardships. At the same time, Raju kept himself updated about India's national movement. He admired Mahatma Gandhi's message of freedom, truth, and simplicity. But unlike Gandhi, he believed that non-violence alone could not drive away the British in tribal areas. Here, the situation demanded armed struggle. Thus, Raju became the natural leader of what would become known as the Rampa Rebellion, 1922-1924. The rebellion began in August 1922 in the agency tracts of the Godavari district. Guerrilla warfare Raju organized tribal fighters into small guerrilla bands. Armed mostly with bows, arrows, and traditional weapons, they launched daring attacks on police stations to seize modern firearms. Within weeks, several police outposts fell to them, and the British were shaken by their boldness. Chintapal Police Station, one of the earliest and most famous raids, Krishna Devi Peta and Rajavomangi attacks, further boosted the morale of the rebels. The British estimated that Raju's band seized over 2,500 guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition during their campaign. Leadership style Raju's charisma was legendary. He moved swiftly through the forests, often changing disguises. He inspired absolute loyalty among his followers, who revered him as a divine protector. At the same time, he remained ascetic in his personal life, renouncing luxury, keeping no wealth, and focusing only on the cause. British counteroffensive. The British recognized the rebellion as a major threat. They deployed the Malabar Special Police and additional battalions, heavily armed and well-trained, to crush the uprising. Despite this, Raju managed to keep the fight going for nearly 2 years through brilliant guerrilla tactics. However, the superior firepower and resources of the British began to wear down the rebels. By early 1924, Raju was betrayed by informants and captured in the forests near Koyuru. On 7th May 1924, at the age of just 27, Alluri Sitaraman Raju was executed by the British in Mupidi village. Some sources mention Koyuru. He faced death with calm dignity, refusing to plead for mercy. His martyrdom marked the end of the Rampa Rebellion, but it did not erase the memory of his struggle. In Andhra Pradesh, Raju is revered as Manyam Virudu, the hero of the jungle. His movement, though local in scale, was one of the most significant tribal uprisings against the British in South India. Statues and memorials in places like Visakhapatnam and Rajamundry keep his memory alive. His story continues to inspire freedom narratives, tribal rights movements, and cultural pride in Andhra. Alluri Sitaraman Raju's rebellion is a reminder that India's independence was not won only in the cities and legislatures, but also in the remote forests and villages where ordinary people took extraordinary risks. He stood for freedom from foreign rule, protection of tribal dignity and livelihood, sacrifice for a larger cause. At just 27, he became immortal in India's long march to independence. Raju was not just a rebel, but a visionary who combined the spiritual aura of a saint with the fire of a revolutionary, a rare figure in India's freedom struggle.